Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of HarlequinCasts, Company of Heroes. And today's game is going to be a fantastic 1 versus 1 game on the map Angoville. If you haven't picked up on it yet, I do enjoy all Relic Entertainment games, Company of Heroes being one of them, Dawn of War 2 being another one of them. So please don't freak out every time I cast one replay or the other from whichever game. Every time I cast a Company of Heroes game, Dawn of War 2 fans are like, oh, are you ever going to come back to Dawn of War 2? Will you ever cast another game again? Yes, probably the next day. Relax, it's all good. And certainly don't go downvoting videos for the game that you don't play. Just enjoy each other's games. They're all fantastic games out there. Anyhow, Angoville, terrific map here. Again, if you're not used to World War II history, Angoville, it's a city in France, and this is actually south of France, which tells you a few things already, because as I said, the Allies kind of moved towards Germany. So being south of Normandy is what I meant to say here. This is actually one of the places where the 101st Airborne landed. If you're not aware or haven't played the single-player campaign, a lot of stuff actually happened before D-Day, including a lot of airborne paratroopers landing in France and doing things to disrupt the German supply line so that the Germans couldn't reinforce effectively on Normandy. So that's what's going on here today. We're looking at Angoville, and let's take a look around at the players here. We've got Mr. Audemed2 today, going to be playing as the Allies here on the southern side of the map, controlling the blue pieces. Audemed2, fantastic player. He's currently ranked like 15th or something like that with a Panzer Elite account. And by the way, people always ask me, why don't I cast Panzer Elite and Brits? It's because they weren't in Company of Heroes Online, and I'm not an expert at them. So while I become an expert at them, enjoy these games that have more classic vanilla matchups. His vanilla opponent today to the north, playing as the Wehrmacht, is going to be Mr. Aikaz. Aikaz? I'm going to go with Aikaz. Aikaz, yeah, that sounds about right. This fine gentleman also is ranked in like the top 50, top 100 for a variety of different commanders as well, playing as Brits, playing as Wehrmacht, obviously. So another gentleman from the top of the ladder there that I enjoy watching. Let's go ahead and get this game started and see what we can come up with here. So as I always enjoy doing at the start of the game, I usually just open up the tactical map and take a look around. Important things to note on this map, we've got 4 fuel points. You can see +5, this is a little one, +5, +16, +16. So we've got 2 high fuel points, one left, one right, and 2 little low points next to your base. And that's it for fuel. Same sort of deal with munitions here. You've got some big munitions on this side, 2 on each side, and just kind of a medium one next to your base. Everything else is a regular point. So oftentimes when you split up your troops early, you have to worry about, do I want to go for this little early bit of munitions and fuel, or do I want to stab outward and try and grab big things? So we can see here already, it looks like he's going to go ahead, and Aikaz is going to go ahead and grab this high munitions point here, and going to go ahead and send out his second Pioneer here to grab the strategic point, which will connect it all together. I think that's a little bit of a mistake. I think your second guy should always go out and grab some of this stuff out here, and when you build your first unit, have them go towards the center here. Obviously, we saw both players sit still and build a building, so likely they're going to come out with the building again. And check out what Audemed is up to here. So yeah, there's that Volksgrenadier squad, there's the Rifleman squad. Perfect timing by both players. And Audemed is going all the way out to grab his high fuel point, and you can see that the left-hand side of the map is all that Aikaz is going for. So I hope that wasn't too much tactical map for you, but I really think it's a very effective way to see what all players are doing, and then it gives you a good clue as to where their conflict is going to be. Already we can see a little bit of what I love calling G-bagging here for really stupid reasons. That's going to provide these guys with a little bit of green cover here and allow them just to fight over the fuel point. Fuel point's very, very important on this map. For anyone wondering why I call it G-bagging, it's because a friend of mine named G often did that when we were first learning how to play the game. So that was the quickest, dumbest way I can think of to refer to it, was G-bagging. His name is Guantes. He's a fine fellow, but of course it has nothing to do with this tactic at all. So if you want to be silly like me and use that term, go nuts. But that's just how I always refer to it, even though it's kind of meaningless here. So anyhow, we can see strong left-hand side control going on right now for Aikaz, and pretty strong right-hand side control going for Audemed2. Again, always be aware that the right-hand side of the map will win you the game if nothing else changes. It does have double victory points there. But you can see he did put a lot of priority on getting this fuel up. Both players did. Both of them want fuel. It's worth noting that. Just the fact that you see this little bit of a sandbag here should tell you that that's the deal there. So Checking things out here in the center, we can see the initial conflict going on here between the Riflemen and some Pioneers. Pioneers having to retreat. Riflemen benefiting from that green cover quite a bit and now being backed up by their own buddies. showing up. You can see there was a little bit of that defensive barbed wire going on once again, but double rifleman squads, green cover, no problem. They're going to be able to chase away the Volksgrenadiers there. Again, putting barbed wire like this, brilliant idea, because what it does is it prevents capping from the south, and you have to do sort of a retrograde capture and come around the top there, which really exposes your troops, makes it hard to retreat. So not a bad idea, but he never got to finish that thought. Again, one rifleman squad is going to go ahead and capture this. No, he's backing away from it and instead going to focus fire. You can see these guys getting in real nitty-gritty here. I'm sure all the Dawn of War II players out there are like, why isn't he forcing melee? There is no melee combat in World War II, apparently. So don't worry about that so much. Anyhow, again, the double rifleman squads using cover really well. Putting a lot of pressure here on Aikaz, so he's got some trouble, but that's fine because check it out. Aikaz not only has his he not only has 2 Volksgrenadier squads out on the field right now, he does have this MG42 coming out. MG42, when used appropriately, fantastic against infantry. But check this out. So he grabbed everything. Audemed grabbed everything on the right-hand side, and while he was fighting up there, very important to make sure you're splitting your troops up and capturing everything that you can. He doesn't have time yet to deal with this fuel point. As you can see, this MG42 is sort of just directly defending that fuel point there, hanging back a little bit. That's fine, but he's going to continue fighting on the left-hand side. Meanwhile, just taking a look around, I wouldn't expect any sort of base buildings or anything like that from either player just yet. We can see a 4th rifleman squad coming out right now for Audemed here. That's going to be the standard Allies opening, which is just 4 riflemen with 2 engineers. You can then go and upgrade flamethrowers and then decide from there where your tech tree wants to go. I'm going to go ahead now and swap over to Aikaz. So be aware that the minimap has changed colors. We can see 2nd machine gun team coming out now for Aikaz. So Aikaz already double machine gun team, double Volksgrenadier squads out there. So that's kind of an interesting build. We'll have to see where that's going to go. Usually if you see something like that, I would have expected maybe a motorcycle or something like that. Great landmine positioning here. This is fantastic. Always mine up this area of the map. This little T intersection, you will always get somebody. It's like everybody walks around there. Looking way over here on the left, we can see that the riflemen are just kind of lying in wait. They know there's a machine gun somewhere around here, and they're just hanging back. And now we have double MG42s looking to guard this side of the map here. Looks like the Volksgrenadiers are finally capping that point. And these riflemen over here were dutiful enough to find that landmine very quickly, too. They sniffed that thing out in a hurry. Unfortunately, taking a bit of damage there. Now you can see some suppression going on here. These riflemen are not quite pinned, but definitely not having a good day. But having seen the angle on that heavy machine gun team, it looks like these riflemen are feeling good about moving out. One thing I always know about Audemed is that he is on the ball. Oh no, he's going to have to retreat here. He's pretty on the ball with his flanks. As you can see, he's got his flamethrower engineers completely flanking that machine gun team. That machine gun team is in heavy cover right now. That's not good. Unfortunately, fire does burn down straw, and now that heavy cover is gone. But you can see beautiful, just multiple pronged attack going on right now for Audemed. He just killed an entire Volksgrenadier squad. You can see them all kind of squirming around over there. And now just executing beautiful, beautiful flanks. Attacking machine gun team from 2 main directions it couldn't defend, scaring them both off, gaining control of this. Again, nothing going on here, but just straight up good tactics, and I love watching that. Oh no! Oh no! Really, really bad luck right there. That entire squad stepping on a landmine, boom, dead. All those guys just died. In fact, dropping a Browning automatic rifle on the ground right there as well. So he did go ahead and upgrade Browning automatic rifles there. Again, as an Axis player, you just need to notice that when an allied player starts wielding Browning automatic rifles that quickly, like right after the 4th rifleman is on the field, that's a good sign that you've got some breathing room in terms of tech rushes. You're not going to see a super fast M8 Greyhound charging into your base or anything like that. Typically, you have plenty of time if that's the case, because at 60 fuel, the Browning automatic rifle will set the allied player back a little bit. However, that all changes when there's any sort of fuel problems. And right now, everything's looking good for both players, because you can see everybody's got the same amount of fuel, so that's good to go. The Axis player can safely read that as, okay, good, we're not going to have any problems here. So, looking around now, you can see he's now going to start covering the left-hand side of the map with a sniper. The sniper here isn't really trying to counter anything in particular. It just works really, really well with the kind of machine gun emplacements that we have here. As you can see, whenever you have a lot of machine guns just sitting back here, they really want to suppress people, but you can very easily take this sniper, move him out ahead of the machine guns, and just kind of sit out there in no man's land. The riflemen will want to kind of hang outside of the range of the machine guns there, and the snipers can pick away at them. If the rifleman trying to attack the sniper just has to fall back slightly, and the machine guns will start suppressing, and then the sniper can start sniping suppressed troops, and everything goes to hell. So